is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Defensive Film Breakdown on KCSN, brought to you by Derrick Johnson's Defend the Dream Foundation. I am here with two of my favorite Chiefs of all time, and I am so grateful to be joined by them every week to break down the defense. My good pals Mike DeVito and Derrick Johnson. We'll start with you, DJ, because your name's on the show, buddy. Your charity. We do this every year. Why don't you give people a little background into the Defend the Dream Foundation so that people know what's there? We're going to drop a link in the chat. Please donate while DJ explains what's going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that, Craig. I was just admiring that nice jersey back there, that old for one behind my guy, Big Mike. No, but man, this is always a pleasure to give info on my foundation, Defend the Dream Foundation, which caters to inner city kids through education. And we're all about serving the youth. It's less about us, more about them, and being able to provide the proper resources for them to reach their full potential through education. Right? We're talking low income areas for elementary schools, being able to reroute their library and make it better for them so they can do more independent reading and just have fun with the heart of the school, and that's the library through literacy. So thank you so much.
Yes.
That's awesome. Homeschooling my two boys, if I've thought about it, I've been doing it for 2 years. And if I could pick one skill, you only had one skill to leave them with as they go out into the world, it'd be able to read and comprehend. I take that over anything else.
Oh, man.
So, DJ, it's just so awesome what you're doing, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
For those of you unaware of what we're doing here this week, I pull in these two, DJ, Big Mike, to break down the defense. We spend a lot of time on the front seven. Here we'll touch on the secondary a little bit, but these two lived in the front seven. I want to tap into their expertise here. And so every week we get together, we watch some clips. I kind of lead us into it. These two take over. I learn more than I could have ever expected just from these two. So, we're going to dive right in here. Steve Spagnuolo called himself a heck of a game. This was a good offense that he was going up against, and he really brought it, especially against the run here, guys. Missing Chris Jones, but they got Big 93 here. Matt Dickerson, they called him up from the practice squad. But I want to highlight here what number 23, Drew Tranquill, new to the Chiefs this year, what he does on this play, especially coming out of 21 personnel here, the way that he takes on this block. DJ, I know you're going to love the way that he fills the gap here. Walk me through this a little bit.
Absolutely. It's an old saying. It stands, when he comes, I come. And right here, this is just old school football, being able to get downhill and leverage the ball. He's a box player, and he's doing his job, and just being able not to get too wide, because the more you get wide, the more it's more opportunities for the running back to cut back or anything. You want to squeeze this ISO play right down, and I mean everybody plays it well. I mean, from the defensive line to Drew right here. This is old school football, and this is right up Mike's alley right here. You put Mike in here right today.
So I'm so excited about so many things. First off, can you now do end zone view on both sides of the ball?
I have the potential to do the reverse angle now, Big Mike. Yeah.
I wouldn't have give to have that. Oh my goodness. No, this is great. And then, like DJ said, I mean, a lead open, like what a play to start the season off. For us, at least. I mean, I love this. This is fantastic. Great job by the backer. If we look at the two inside guys, right, because they're real important. This bump block on the nose is just this moving double where they're trying that 72 is trying to displace the nose so that the center can overtake him, and then 72 get up to the next level. The key here is for the nose to fight back hard into that A gap, and it's hard because just your momentum is now going back the other way. 9-1 does a great job of throwing himself back in there and staying in that gap. And that's key to making sure this, he's in on that play. If we go back and watch 93, this is, he's coming up from the practice squad. I mean, so there's this is a scoop block, right? So 73 and the tackle are trying to scoop up to 54. Now, what I always tried to do, not always successfully, but normally this is me and DJ, and, I would die to try to keep that guard off of 54.
Mhm.
Like, that was the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
If you can't get that done, you have to do what 93 does right now and flatten down the line, stay in that gap.
Yeah.
He gets in on the tackle.
Absolutely. And watch Nick Bolton right here being able to get the. Now, it's one thing about these double teams. These double teams are not going to come off unless the linebackers show up, right? Because if the linebackers are slow with flowing, you're just going to stay on a double team all day. And then that's a problem. 2 against 1. That's always a problem. So as linebackers, stack linebacker, you got to get downhill. And they do a great job on this play. I love it. Yeah.
And this is one of those things that, in an I formation, there's no sort of tilt with the back set. And so as a 3 technique, you don't, unless there's some sort of tendency on film, you can get, boss play, lead strong, lead weak. You just, lead open. There's so many things they can do. And so unless there's some tell from studying film, that 3 technique is there's nothing to take a jump on here, right?
I got one. I got a jump right here. That B gap is a little bit bigger than all the other gaps. Just a little bit. Now defensive linemen can't tell as much, but as linebackers, we're able to say, all right, guys, big B gap mean they want to open it up, spread us out a little bit, and try to run that ball in there. And that A gap, which is 91 is in right now, is kind of closed a little bit because they got to double up, up to the linebackers. But usually that B gap is a little bit bigger. You got to have 20/20 vision to see it at times.
Yeah. No, that's really good, DJ. Yeah, that's key. If you can catch those gaps, the size of those splits. And then the other thing, correct me if I'm wrong, DJ, too, I don't know what this is, but won't a slot give you some information as well if you have a slot? Receivers to the right.
Absolutely. That's when you know it's coming. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. There we go. That's how these guys do it, by the way, right there. DJ tipping the play already by seeing that big B gap right there.
Yeah. And that's the opportunity. If you're out there, you say, hey, ISO. Yeah. Now DeVito's like, hey, here we go. If they run it, I'm ready for it. We're not going to guess, but if they run it, we're ready.
And here's the deal. DJ's yelling that. If I'm 91, I'm halving into that guard. Yeah, I know I'm getting this bump. So guard. If I'm 93, I'm tightening way up on 73 so that he's not coming. He cannot get up to the next level.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And again, this is week 1. So these guys are talking about, watching tape, trying to find tendencies and stuff like this. This is week 1. Everybody's bringing new stuff to the table. Yeah. So being able to have those little keys and those identifiers is absolutely crucial this week. I assume from you guys. Yeah.
DJ, when was the last time we saw a lead open doing
I know. Maybe go around a short yardage, 4th and 1. I don't know, but yeah.
I'll tell you what, Ben Johnson for the Lions has quite the run game. They get into a lot of concepts here. So it's fun to watch their run game just because there's a lot of new school. There's a lot of old school. It's really nice the way they blended in here.
You know what?
All right.
Up before I move on to that last one too. You don't have to go back, but I'm just going to say, if you watch 91, our 91 when we were there, Dontari Poe, he was so excellent on this block because he just was so big, so strong that they would try to displace him, and he just wouldn't budge. He was always right in that gap.
Yeah.
And so it reminded me of Dontari Poe. I was like, damn, he's
Big Poe, baby. Big Poe. All right, moving on to the next play here. And what we're going to see, we're actually going to see L'Jarius Sneed's going to be coming off the left side of the screen. It's going to be a run blitz out of him. But I want you to pay attention at the way that George Karlaftis, 56, takes this tight end for a ride and really sets the edge here. Mike, I know you're going to love this. Linebackers flow well as well. This is just a terrific play all around here.
Ooh, yeah, this is counter OF. DJ, is this what we used to call it, counter OF?
This is, yes.
It's like a power with split, and they brought the tight end pulling around too. Is that the counter?
Yeah.
That's that's a great play.
It is a great play. It messes with your eyes as a linebacker. You really have to have great eyes and great footwork on this play. But George, I mean, this is this is what you want to not get closed down, because that really hurts everybody when a tight end can really close that guy down, even though he has that C gap, but being able to press him inside out, saying, "Hey, I have my gap, but I'm gonna help close everything else." And that's how you whoop a tight end. That's that, because tight ends, you say that they catch the ball half the time and block half the time, so they shouldn't be that good at blocking. So that's what you do to a tight end. That's what you want to put on film. That's the way you represent 5'6" right there. Now that's
no doubt, putting them down. This is hard to see on the interior, but one thing you can notice is, so this is 22 personnel, right? You got 2 backs, 2 tight ends.
Correct.
Yeah. So you started with 87 out. You motioned him in. When he motions in, he's still off the line. His foot is even with the down tackle. I mean, look where he is. So, like, it'd be weird if they're running at him right now. Whereas you have the other tight end on the other side. He's heavy in his stance. You can even see 87 look in a second towards where he's going. And so if you could get this read, again, this is hard, but, right now, seeing it from my angle, I'm thinking, okay, right, we got something coming to the left. They're probably not running to that motioned in tight end. That could help the 3 technique, because you see he steps down, and that double gets him a little bit. And I think it's not because they sort of overpowered him. It's just his step was inside to start.
Yeah.
And if he attacks that more straight ahead, he'll be in a much better spot. 91 does a great job. Jacks up the center. Now you see how he's slow to play that. I can't tell you how many times I got jumpy and that back quick, hit right on that backside of the gap.
Yeah, that's hard. Take that nose guard right there, being able to say, "Hey, I know the ball is going to my left," and him peeking that way, but just know, you have somebody behind you saying, "Hey, this is my gap." But I want to point out 5'4" and 3'2" right here. Just great footwork, and just what Mike DeVito was just talking about, saying that tight end at 87 is off. They're probably not running that way. They're going to run to the down tight end. It's just a better option for them. And 5'4" and 3'2" is just scraping over the top, ready to go get some. This is a really, really good defensive run stopping play right here.
Yeah, this is good. And 93 does a good job fighting back too. I mean, he's on the practice squad the day before, and now he's
for sure.
Outstar. I mean, this is tough sledding.
Big ask for him for sure. Yeah. Big ask for him for sure. There, I like how quickly 5'4" gets out there into the edge. TJ Hawkinson, who is a very good tight end here, 87, comes around the corner. I don't think he was expecting Leo Chanel to be there. Right then. You can kind of see his reaction here, trying to, oh man, yeah, that guy, I didn't get as much of that guy as I thought I did. Just great job front side by both.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what you want to do as linebackers, whenever you have pullers, you want to be tight end aware. When you come around tight end aware, man, you never know these big guys coming around, even with tackles and guards pulling. You just never know that how you can affect the play and slip up inside, because guys pulling around, they're not anticipating movement as much as we are, and we just know this is good play by 5'4" right here.
Yeah. It's nice to see that we're so technically sound at right off the jump, again, because run game technique, as we've seen with the Chiefs before, and it's not just Kansas City, I mean, it's everybody. It can take some getting used to, especially real time when you're going live. Everything is, 9-on-7 is one thing, but then when you're playing these plays live in the game, it's a totally different thing. But they're doing it. I mean, their technique is great, and I think 9-3 plays that a little bit more straight and straight up the field instead of taking that down step. And I think you're pretty much perfect across the board here, which is really nice.
And I said TJ Hawkinson. That's Sam Laporta. TJ Hawkinson got traded last year. I'm still living in last year Detroit Lions. So yeah. All right, let's go to play 3 here. And what we're gonna see here, again, we're looking at 93. You're gonna see. I don't think this is a gap exchange between 91 and 93 here, but you're going to see 91 come over the top of 93 to help kind of retrieve this gap a little bit. This is kind of Steve Spagnuolo, what he describes as do your job plus, be in your gap, be where you need to be. When you see an opportunity, step into it and try and make the most of it. See, 93 kind of gets upfield a little bit, but 91 looping over the top here absolutely makes this play.
This is excellent. So, DJ, you played with Kelly Gregg, right?
Yep.
Kelly Gregg used to do, this is how he would make 100 tackles a season at D tackle, and this is what he would do. He would play off of everything else that was going on. He was almost like a linebacker playing D-line. So, it takes, unless that's built into the system, which it might be built into the play,
right,
where this is like some sort of inside game. It's just that right there is surprisingly difficult to do, to wrap around a guy who's spiking in, because it's taking you out of your gap. So it takes some sort of, I don't know, it's not as natural as it might seem, but 91 does a great job here. He sees 93 stunned down, boom, he over stunts there a little bit, at least from what I can tell. You want this step to be more one step and upfield. But 91 does a great job seeing he's further inside and just plays around him. They naturally swap gaps, and the O-line can't pick that up. So you have a beautiful little game in there that's just natural. Again, it doesn't look like it's something that's been called, and 91's wide open in the hole. And so this is just very smart, technically sound football.
Yeah, 91 is actually this stunt is more for Nick Bolton, for the linebacker, and it helps us to get over top, because it kind of muddies up on a little bit. But 91 is doing a great job by being aware, man. Just being aware, being able to know, hey, just being able to be aware of where the running back, what move he is doing and where he's at. You always got to, regardless of how you take on block, you have to be aware of what the running back is doing, because that actually tells you what to do on the block. And
right.
This is probably for Nick to make it, but I'm as a linebacker, I'm hitting 91 in the butt. Let's go. That's good job, because we need more and more, especially defensive linemen, just being aware of what's going on and not being so stagnant, and being able to move and just adjust on the fly. This is good. Linemen don't like that. Offensive linemen like to say, hey, you're right here, let's block, let's get it on. And when you move, that's a problem.
Yeah. What was this, DJ? This is like a stretch play, right?
Yes, just a regular zone play.
This is a good defensive call too. This is the perfect thing to call in there. Now, I do want to highlight this. 3-2 is a hell of a player. One day, I think he has a chance to be like 5-4. But 5-4 is out there, 9-1 ain't making that play. You got DJ in that spot. 9-1's watching there at TFL.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a tackle for loss, getting downhill for a DJ in there. Yeah, absolutely. I also want to highlight here, 87's having a rough time here. Trent McDuffie, 22, slot defender here on the edge, does a really good job. He did this several times this week, shedding this block and being there as a force defender on the edge. That's what you want out of your secondary players. That's the kind of stuff that you want in run support. So, yeah, basically shut down any opportunity. I don't think it was going to that gap by any means, but if it were to bounce outside, he's got that covered really, really well.
Yeah, and what's great too? It's 22 recognizes he probably can't, the best way to play this, if you're a D lineman or, is to, you never want to take the soft shoulder like 22 does. But right. 22 knows he isn't going to stay in there and try to wrestle with this guy. So he gets around and then bends down the line fast, because that's what you have to make up for. If you're going to take the soft shoulder, you better bend your ass down the line quick, and he does that.
Yeah. That's just being savvy, just on the edge as a DB.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, our last play here was one of the things that Steve Spagnuolo threw in as a wrinkle. You guys, in Steve Spagnuolo's time in Kansas City, he has never run a true 3-3-5 defense, especially not one that's got a 4-0-4 kind of alignment here. This is 5-4, Leo Chanel on the edge, and 2-3, Drew Tranquil on the edge, running 3 linebackers, 3 down linemen, George Karlaftis, Mike Dana, and Turk Wharton in the middle. I wanted to show this look to you guys, first of all. Do you guys ever remember anything like this? I know that you guys played in a 3-4 defense. You certainly got a little bit more, kind of exposure to this. What do you think when you see something like this on a 2nd and long?
Jeez, bro, what did he play? DJ Sink? Was Sink like this?
Yeah, you know what? Now we're getting old. Now you're going into the bag. But yes, we had something. I forgot what we called it, but it was a bear looking, hill. But it was, golly. But I remember this. I vividly remember us having a front like this, and I would be the only stacked linebacker back there. And the DB will come right beside me like Six is doing right here. But this is hard to run the ball in and you're able to the back end with the having nickel personnel back there. So this is
one of those ones up front that if this is a pass, you get there's nobody in the middle there, so you've got to make sure you're disciplining your lanes. Tom Brady could run 20 yards with this one. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful with your rush.
I really liked this look because, hear a lot of people that, hey, Leo Chanel's a fantastic blitzer as a linebacker. Drew Tranquil's a fantastic blitzer as a linebacker. Spagnuolo comes out week 1 and says, okay, we're going to show you what that looks like. We're going to line them on the line of scrimmage here. We'll play this here. I'll tell you what, Nick Bolton absolutely levels this running back coming on the blitz here. Just flattens him and just a fantastic rep here. But it is a new wrinkle for Steve Spagnuolo to do this. You see both of those linebackers drop out. They're not coming anymore. But, Nick Bolton, because it's kind of a 5-0 look for the offensive lineman, they've got to pick up all these individual guys. Nick Bolton gets a free run at the running back here.
Yeah. Well, the best thing about it is he's blitzing away from the back, so the back has to cross space of the quarterback, which is hard to do. That he's really have to get over there, and when you're coming right down the pipe, it for a quarterback feels that. So it's just he come, I come. This is no pretty moves or nothing like that. You want to get him off the spot and affect the quarterback, and the quarterback felt that, and he said, "Man, I gotta get out of here." But you set it up with how you set up. You put 5 defensive linemen up there, and everybody has to account for somebody. And the back has the linebacker, and we want that. We think that's a win from a linebacker standpoint.
The 3 techniques do a great job. So this is what we used to call a pop technique, where you're trying to get the attention of that guard, right? Your outside guys are dropping out. So eventually you have to work out to contain, but you don't want to get out there too fast so that they can just pass off and then those guards can play inside, right? So watch, I don't know who's to our left here, but that's a great move. He sinks a rip. Yeah, gets that 73 thinking he's going to rush, and now 73 can't, he can't rush the hell. So one thing we used to talk about with these pop techniques is and Rex Ryan used to say this all the time, and Bob Sutton used to reiterate it too, is contain is overrated. You know what I mean? Don't rush out to contain right away. Make sure you buy those guards so it opens everything up that we're doing inside, and then eventually work to the outside. And you see a lot of young guys when they start, they're so worried about contain that they fly out of there and it screws up the whole blitz. These guys do a good job of, playing to contain late and just, getting the attention of those guards.
But Nick Bolton, man, this is how you blitz. This is how you get downhill and be full of piss and vinegar at the end of the day, and be able to just relentless effort at the end of the day, and just next time this back probably is gonna want to cut him.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm gonna say. The back is going to the sideline, and the OC's looking, saying, "Hey, take that play out. Is it ain't working? Figure out something else if we get that look."
I do want to say here, Spags ran this multiple times. This 404 front with the linebackers walked up. He did send the linebackers, one of them, and obviously, offensive line, one-on-one blocking across the board. Turk Wharton's in the middle here. Turk Wharton's a good football player. When Chris Jones is back, that's Chris Jones in the middle of the park here at the zero technique. And you've got him one-on-one with a center. Nick Bolton's blitzing this play, but when they're bringing those 2 guys off the outside, you get Chris Jones a one-on-one on the middle there. Woo, buddy. I think this formation will be cooking a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they would. He would be a smart deep offensive coordinator. You look at that front and say, "Hey guys, we got a cannon, and we just got to maybe max protect." Because if you put one, I don't care what center in the NFL, you put one guy on Chris Jones, then you want to sprint out away from him. You want to do something away from that because he's going to win. He's going to win.
DJ, I don't know if I ever asked you, but what was it like playing with him? Because he must have just been he just wreaks total havoc.
He does, and he's probably a little bit better than Chris Jones is probably a little bit better now than he was then, because back then he of course he was still a great athlete, big guy, but you never knew where he was gonna go. Like you never knew. Like I knew I had the A gap, and he was a 3 technique, but he was just rip it and get it. And if he gets reached by a guard, he doesn't really care. He's all about penetration and being able to get vertical, and that works well with me because I can figure it out on the fly. And as long as the ball is bubbling out or going east and west, I'm good with it. So I kind of let him just, hey, young buck back in the day, hey, just rip it and go.
Well, that's going to do it for the KCSN Defensive Film Breakdown. I appreciate DJ and Big Mike jumping in to break down a little Week 1 film. We will be back throughout the season to keep breaking down Steve Spagnuolo and this Chiefs defense, now featuring Chris Jones back in the mix this week. Everybody be kind to each other, and we will catch you later.